when and where to rock your fragrances. Now, if you're somebody that's having a hard time picking your scent of the day, this video is for you. Now, a general rule of thumb is that when it's hot outside, you want to pull for your fresh and clean fragrances, something like Light Blue Intense by Dolce & Gabbana. This is a lemon apple musk fragrance. And then when it's cold outside, that's when you have the opportunity to wear your sweet, daring, loud fragrances, your spicy scents, something like Tom Ford Black Orchid. Now, if you're wondering why that is, just imagine wearing a strong fragrance like Black Orchid on a hot day. What's going to happen? More than likely, the fragrance is going to be mixing with like how hot your body is getting with the heat because the sun is beating down on you. And that heat is going to turn this scent overly sweet. All right. If that still isn't really making sense to you, I don't have the fragrance with me right now, but let's take a scent like Ombre Leather by Tom Ford, right? A very leathery fragrance. Yes, to a lot of people, that's sexy. And a lot of people want to be sexy, right? But would you wear a leather jacket to the beach? If it's a hot day and you're like, man, this leather jacket is so nice looking, fuck it, I'm going to wear it to the beach. It just does not make sense. Why? Because you are just going to get overheated in that thing. You're going to be sweating like crazy and it's just going to be an absolute disaster. So instead of wearing your leather jacket, you wear your bikini or you wear your swim trunks. You wear what fits that situation. So typically with these really sweet, bold fragrances, these shine the best at nighttime or when it's cold outside. Because when you have that cold weather, a lot of fresh fragrances can't really hack it that much. They can't really cut through the cold weather. What tends to happen is people wear freshies and all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, I can no longer smell my fragrance. It doesn't work. It must be reformulated, blah, blah, blah. But it's just that you're using it in the wrong situation. And the thing to think about here is like, just think about flowers and roses, right? When it's wintertime and it's snowing, do you see roses blooming? Like if you try to plant like a rose bush, or you try to plant flowers in the snow, is it going to work or is it going to die? It's going to die, right? Even if you just bring a rose and you just put it in the snow, is that thing going to survive the whole entire night? Probably not. It's going to wilt. It's going to die off. So that is what happens with fresh fragrances, is that they don't really last in cold weather because they can't hack it. Now, it's very different because with freshies, you can wear them year round if you want to, but you just have to be prepared that the longevity is not going to be there if you do wear it in cold weather. But the thing with wearing a very sweet fragrance in the high heat is that it really can become nauseating to you and other people around you. So summertime, I would stay away from these unless, let's say you're going somewhere around midnight. But there even this past summer, when I was thinking, okay, on a summer night, I'm going to wear Carlisle, it was still too hot for me. Honestly, I hardly pulled for Carlisle as much as I wanted to, like in 2022, because even at nighttime, it was still warm and there were other scents that I would rather much prefer, right? So when it comes to these sweet, amazing fragrances, if you're blessed to live somewhere where it's really cold and you love these scents, then that's where these are going to shine the best. But I would really not recommend wearing scents like this when it's warm outside in the summertime, in the springtime. For those, go fresh and clean. And even for me, honestly, whenever the sun is out, this is just me personally. I'm not saying that everyone has to do this, right? But for me, when the sun is out, I go with fresh fragrances because I know the area that I live in. I know that it can get warm and I am not going to be wearing something like Black Orchid when that happens, so fresh and clean when it's hot outside, and then the sweet fragrances when it's cold outside. Now, when it comes to dates and things where it's supposed to be intimate, there's a fine line with this, right? A lot of people want to wear their sweet, sexy fragrances, and I see that. It kind of depends on what you're doing, right? So let's say for your date, you guys are going clubbing. Then hell yeah, if you want to throw on Black Orchid, you can absolutely do that because it's going to be competing with a lot of other fragrances in that club. There's going to be a lot of people wearing loud, obnoxious fragrances, and it fits that mold. However, let's say you're going on a nice date, a nice intimate, it doesn't have to be fancy, just like a nice dinner date. That is when I would suggest you wear an intimate fragrance like Le Nuit de l'Homme. This one here is a masculine scent, And a lot of people have been shitting on this fragrance because of reformulation. They're like, it doesn't last, blah, blah, blah. But it's not meant to be a beast mode scent. It's not supposed to perform like Black Orchid. So when you have these sort of, like in events, if you have these sort of dates where you're going to be eating, right? You're across the table from each other. You're having a nice steak and lobster, whatever you're interested in. You don't want your fragrance competing with the aroma of your dinner, because that in of itself will become nauseating. I had that experience where I was eating pho at like this dinner, and this guy, like in the room, on the other side of the room, was blasting 1 Million by Paco Rabanne, and it seriously nauseated me. I could not finish my dinner because it was just too strong. It was just not the time and place for a fragrance like that, you know? So yes, you can wear sweet scents and you hear, okay, it's nighttime, so that's when I can wear my sweet fragrances. But if you're going on these dates, don't wear something that's gonna choke them out if you're going to like a nice setting, especially if they can't even get air. You know what I mean? They're just stuck in this restaurant. So that's when I would advise you to wear something like Le Nuit de l'Homme. And for a feminine fragrance, I really love, for the terms of a designer one, Versace Bright Crystal is amazing. That one just has people weak in the knees. It's really good. More of a fresh fragrance, but still something that's intimate. And then after you guys go to dinner, like if you go on a nice walk, a leisurely walk or something like that, and you're just kind of cuddling into each other, then they can smell your fragrance. If you go watch a movie afterwards, right? And you guys are snuggling into each other, then they smell your scent and it's really nice, but it's not gonna piss off the whole entire movie theater. So just be very cautious with that. Now, even with work fragrances, this is another fine line. I would still suggest something that is intimate, something like Le Nuit de l'Homme. I'm not saying this is the ultimate work fragrance here, but the performance that this has is perfect for work environments because you can smell yourself throughout the workday, but it isn't going to irritate your coworkers. When it comes to the work environment, you really have to be respectful of others, okay? I know that you want to rock whatever you want to wear, right? But it's not the time and place, because the people that are going to be around you, I'm not saying they're they are there to work. They're there to make their money. You know what I mean? They're not there to compliment you on your fragrance and boost your ego, right? So don't wear something that just because you like it and like the whole office, like you want the whole office to smell you. That's just very inconsiderate. So still wear something that is intimate if you want something that's clean, professional. I just talked yesterday about my scent of the day, which was Prada L'Homme EDT. That is a stronger fragrance. So I would minimize the sprays on a scent like that. So just again, just a small recap. Well, you know what? Let me talk about this too. When it comes to like clubbing, partying, I only have these 3 fragrances that I'm showing you right now, but I think they cover the gist of it. When it comes to clubbing, you can rock your sweet, loud fragrances. Okay, like the person that was rocking 1 Million, you can do that. You can wear your Baccarat Rouge 540 X-Straight. You can rock your Delina exclusive. You can rock your Black Orchid by Tom Ford, and it will not be an issue whatsoever. So now to recap, when it's hot outside, fresh fragrance. When it's cold outside, sweet fragrance. If you're going on an intimate date, then, you know, like a sexy, intimate scent. If you're going clubbing, then wear your loud, bold fragrance. If you're going to a work environment or something clean, professional, but still, like, depending on how strong that is, just manage, you yourself can manage the sprays on that. Just with work, less is more. And I feel like there's another thing that I wanted to state, but I can't really remember. You know what I'm going to do after this video? I'm going to record another one on how to start your fragrance collection for beginners, just like to know what you should get so you have a collection that balances out. That's what I mean to say. But here's the thing. If 5 fragrances is too much and you're like, damn, like I'm only looking for one right now, out of all the 5 categories I just shared with you, I would suggest you get the Fresh and Clean to start. Fresh and Clean will work in any situation. You could still wear this on a date night. You can still wear this at work. You can wear this at the club if you want to. Is it going to be the best clubbing fragrance? No, but it's not something that's going to get it's not going to irritate a lot of people. So to be safe, start with the Freshie. You can daily wear the Freshie all you want, and it is not going to be a problem because generally people are really into fresh fragrances and they are not annoying, and they're not like, they're more mass appealing in that regard. You know what I mean? It's not going to piss people off like wearing a sweet scent at work or on like an intimate date. So there it is, when and where to rock certain fragrances. I hope this served as a nice baseline. Of course, this doesn't cover everything, but just enough to get across the basics. All right. Anyways, I've just been stuttering all day. It's been quite a day. But anyways, I'll put the discount link for all the fragrances mentioned here in the description box below, in the comment section. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.